Welcome to Politics NY with Sky. Schneps Media is asking each candidate running for New York City office this year 3 questions in 3 minutes to get to know everyone just a little bit of their candid side. And right now I'm with Richard Lee. He's running for New York City Council District 19 in Queens. So let's get to know him a little bit. Hi, Richard. Tell us about yourself and why you're running for office this year.
Sure. Thank you, Sky. Again, my name is Richard Lee, running for City Council in District 19, which is College Point, all the way to Little Neck in Northeast Queens. It's a district that both me and my wife grew up in. My wife is a small business owner, and we're parents to 3 young children, Gabby, Teddy, and Maddie. Gabby is a 3rd grader. Teddy is a kindergartner, and Maddie is a 1.5-year-old. And the motivation for me running really has been the same motivation that led me to leave the private sector to become a community organizer for a nonprofit organization, and the same motivation that led me to become budget and legislative director to the City Council deputy majority leader, and most recently as budget director for the borough of Queens for the Queens Borough President. And that motivation really is at the heart of it to help individuals and help our community in a way that the government can be responsive really to the needs of our borough, our community, and our city. And I'm hoping to use my experience to do that.
Wow, Richard. So look, we learned a little bit about your family, about your experience working in government and politics, all in that little chunk of time. So that was great. So it must have been difficult for you during the pandemic with 3 little kids at home.
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult. Being having 2 kids in public school, that transition we had very early on in March, coming away from in-person learning to remote learning was particularly difficult, I think, for our children, trying to get a sense of that. And my son, who was a kindergarten now, entering school in that sort of normal, was a new transition for him too. During the pandemic, we caught COVID really early on, like around late March, and so we are one of the first, I think, to really experience this. But thereafterwards, at working in government, we had to. My role really is to try to take care of a lot of the issues that was happening in our borough. And so using my expertise in procurement and government budget, we were able to purchase tens and thousands of PPEs to distribute to nurses, transit workers, and all frontline workers at a time when nobody else in the city was able to do so. And we helped oversee nearly 500 boxes of food every single day for 8 months straight to help families who are food insecure during this time too. And so that time, I think, was particularly very difficult for our family in terms of me trying to balance work and trying to balance family commitments at the same time, because the work commitment really was pretty much around the clock 24/7, trying to respond for nearly until now to the needs of the community when COVID hit at the height of it.
So Richard, it's a competitive race for District 19. What about your experience makes you the best candidate in this race?
I think it's kind of like a mixture of my personal experience and my work experience. I think that really makes me the best candidate. As a father of 2 young kids in school, I have like an intimate kind of understanding of kind of like what a lot of our families went through during this time. Being a son of 2 immigrant parents who are older, helping them do something as simple as get a vaccine appointment and seeing how there's a technological divide and a linguistic divide. I think having that understanding, being a small business owner and understanding the hardships that small businesses are right now going through. And my work experience, understanding how governance works and having those relationships and being able to understand how to really utilize governments for the good of the people. And having that deep understanding of how budget and laws work, having been overseeing $450 million worth of capital improvements all throughout the borough, from parks, schoolyards to technological improvements in every single school. I think that mixture of work experience and community experience is what really compels and propels my candidacy to really be the best candidate for this race.
Awesome. Now, Richard, tell us something fun or interesting about yourself that may not have come up on an interview in the past.
Oh, fun and interesting. It's funny because I used to watch a lot of NASCAR. I'm a big motorsport fan, so I used to watch a lot of NASCAR. But TV over the last like 3 years has sort of been like not really been able to do much because I have 3 young kids. 1.5-year-old is taking up a lot of time right now because now she's crawling on everything. walking upstairs, jumping off couches. So that's been taking up most of our time. But, I think that's something I hope I could get back into, once I have a little bit more time freed up and, the campaign's over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Richard, thank you for spending 3 minutes with me on Chef's Media's 3 Questions in 3 Minutes. And I'm Sky with Politics NY.